Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Gurave Namaha. I bow to God. I bow to all the divine incarnations. I bow to all the masters of all times and all places. I bow to my beloved Gurudev. I bow to all of you and the entire creation. Om. Amen. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning to all of you. It is by the grace of God and Sri Gurudev, we all have assembled here to commemorate the 50th year of Sri Gurudev's coming to West, and at the same time, the 7th anniversary of Temple of Compassion. Temple of Compassion is Sri Gurudev's Ashram in Texas, located in a scenic and charming surrounding. Many ponds, creek, forest, wild animals, Gomata, the Brahmin gods, and so on. Month of September, I think in Sri Gurudev's blessing is a special month. You will ask why. Month of September, he started ashram in Florida, which is our mother center. Month of September, he's founded the ashram in Austria, which is the mother center in Europe. In the month of September, this ashram. So this fortnight is a special fortnight. Every day something speciality. So coming few days we'll be having the program here. Since last I will tell from Vienna, one thought is lingering in my head. Need, greed, and then deed. This thought came to me in Holland. I was in Holland in end of August in our ashram in Sterksel. This was my thought to speak there. It was few days program. When I was on the stage, the thought changed. So I spoke something else. And then I wanted to complete this idea which comes to head. Then in Vienna, it was not completed. So it is continuing. We all are human beings. And Sri Gurudev loved this quote from the Holy Bible, also that is from the Torah. God made human beings in His image. So we all are the image of God. We all. Sri Gurudev said, we all have God-like potentiality of love, kindness, compassion, and so on. We all have. Then where is the problem? If we have that potentiality and Gandhi wanted to give talk. He was a very shy person and he was not a public speaker, he was not but his profession he chose to be an attorney. So in England, where he was studying law, he joined the course How to Speak. So that was the need, how to speak. Because you are an attorney, you have to stand up, you have to plead. So it is said that he stood up after this orientation training, he has to speak. And he fumbled. He said, I conceive 3 times he repeated, I conceive, then he sat down. Somebody remarked, Mr. Gandhi conceived 3 times but could not deliver anything. We all are human beings. We have the potentiality. Gandhi had the potentiality, he didn't know. What did he speak? He thrilled the heart of millions of people when there was no modern media, nothing. He spoke. He touched the heart of people. How? We all have potentiality. And that potentiality is manifested. How? Guru's touch, our effort. Guru's inspiration, our perspiration. Guru's ideas and our hard work. Yes, I will be. Each one of us. We all are potential divine. Let us think a little bit deeper. Each one of us, according to the Katha Upanishad, India, since time immemorial, as Gurudev said, this is Gurudev's quote, is ever specialized in the science of soul. The ancient scriptures, the most ancient scriptures of humankind, I'm not talking India because it belongs to the humanity, is the Vedas. The Vedas, the end part of the Vedas, the Upanishad. There are thousands of Upanishads. Thousands. It is sad. It happened in every places. Lots of scriptures were destroyed intentionally, purposefully by some people, those who did not understand the value. However, is left. We have little left available. Among them, one Upanishad is Katha Upanishad. It's very interesting. The dialogue between Yama and a little boy. Yama means the Lord of Death. Ordinarily, when you think of death, or we get the picture of death, how many of us can have joy? And he welcomed death. He had dialogue with death. And Yama is teaching. Yama is telling Nachiketa, each human body is a chariot. So we all have body, And it is a chariot, it is mobile. When the Lord is talking of body to human beings, it is for all living beings. The plants, animals, humans all have body. Body is the chariot, and who is the charioteer? Yama is telling Atma, the soul, is the charioteer. So now two things clear. We all have body and we all have soul. The question would come, do the plants have soul? Do the animals have soul? Yes. All have souls. Those who are living, they are breathing. Those who breathe, because of the presence of soul in the body, all have souls. Don't accept blindly. Listen, think over it. Yama is telling, when it is a chariot, chariot should be driven by, pulled by, during those days, by horses. We came this morning from Gurudev's ashram to Gurudev's ashram. So we started with our feet, then with the car, then with the aeroplane, then with the vehicle, then with the feet. Then we are in the ashram. Yes, we use the external vehicle, modern times, but this body vehicle, the chariot, has horses. Indriyani, hoyani, ahuhu, the sense organs are horses. And the horses these are not ordinary horses, very powerful and, unruly. Unruly horses. I don't know how many of you have read the biography of George Washington. George Washington's mother had a horse. She was proud of it. And nobody could ride on that horse. And he was young, a teenager, with his friends. One day he tried, and that horse was really trying to, and he controlled the horse. Control means controlled. Finished. Everybody got scared. What will happen? The mother will be unhappy. And she told openly that this thing happened, very truthfully. George Washington. So horses, sense organs are the horses. Powerful, but useful. And they will drive, the feet will drive, the hand will drive, useful. All the sense organs. You will ask, do the plants have sense organs? Animals we understand. Do the plants have sense organs? My dear ones, doesn't the root goes where there is water? Doesn't the plant grow where there is light? In that direction, how does it know? It has its own way to understand, own way to respond, although it is not as developed as we have. And describing our sense organs, Acharya Shankara said, in the creation, one animal having one sense organs more powerful, although they have other sense organs, but one sense organs more powerful, they are doomed. Sometimes they face death. We, the humans, we have 5 sense organs equally powerful. However, come back to us. Yama is telling Nachiketa, the sense organs are the horses. And to control the horse, you need the rein, the rope. And that is the mind. Mind is the rope, the rein. And who will control it? Intellect is the controller. No. Intellect is the controller. We all are human beings. We all have all these. Then Yama is telling Nachiketa, with all these equipments, with all these, chariot and everything, you are roaming in the world. You want to enjoy the world. Know who enjoys. Atma, Indriya, Mana, Yukta. The soul, along with the sense organs and the mind. Bhakta, they enjoy everything. For example, if there will be no soul in the body, dead body cannot enjoy. Dead body has no need. Dead body has no greed. Dead body has no deed. Am I clear? So because of the soul, the body, the mind, the senses, all are active, useful. Now let us come to our life. How are my sense organs? How is my mind? When I speak of mind, it includes 4. Mind, intellect, ego, memory. Many times we have discussed. All are useful. How is my mind? How is my intellect? How is my ego? How is my memory? How are my sense organs? How am I? Equipped with all this, I am sitting here in presence of you. Gurudev once told, whenever you go and give a talk, you should tell something new. From where to get new? He said, today you go and tell them, I am a cannibal. I looked at him, because people will look at you and say, I also looked at him. So he is telling, everybody will be shocked to hear this. When you tell, I am a cannibal, raw flesh eater. People eat flesh, fish, they cook. And I eat raw. I have to tell this. I'm thinking, Gurudev can't talk all this. It is my thought. He is like grandfather, in his age. And then he explained. He said, you will tell, I look at you, I'm eating you. I am looking at you, I am eating you. Now, I'm asking you, if we take these Gurudev's words, now you are eating me. I am eating you, and you are eating me. At least from the beginning, from the eyes, you will not have problem. Because you will get a small portion of Pragyanananda. Because so many. But if I eat you all, I will have indigestion. Gurudev said, with eyes we eat. You are listening to me. You are eating. Yesterday, Swami Atmavidyanji told a story, interesting story. I'm not telling the story. He said the theme of the story that we listen, but we don't listen. Meaning we don't practice. We are listening. You come to the ashram, you listen to the teacher, you go back home, then Do you know, many times it happens. Very simple thing. Don't take it as a criticism. You are sitting here, all are quiet. And only one person who is not speaking so much nowadays is talking. You are all quiet. Very good. So there will be meditation class, for example. You all are quiet. After the meditation class is over, when we are out, why out? Even here, we start. If we analyze the whole day, when we speak, what we speak, is it necessary? Is it useful? Is it hurting others? Is it all these words? Why to speak? The eyes are needed. These eyes are now, everybody's eye. As old is the body, so old is the eye. And in modern times, we abuse the eye a lot. We abuse the eye a lot, many unnecessary things. We put stress and strain on the eyes. Eye is needed. Eye has its own function to see but need is there. Abuse of eye is because of greed. And if we follow the path of greed, it is our wrong deed. D-E-E-D. D-E-E-D, deed. Need, greed, and deed. And the problem, is more times doctors are helping us, the ophthalmologist. You can have glasses. I have a pair of glasses in my bag. A person was sick, went to the doctor, and doctor investigated and said that take this medicine and you will be, and he took the medicine in the pocket, kept in the pocket. Next day the doctor asked, how are you? He said, not really so great. What happened to the medicine? He said, it is in the pocket. So the same thing is happening with me. The doctor has given me the glasses. I have glasses in my bag. And I'm carrying it. Not on my face. I'm carrying in my bag. Anyhow, the eyes are till now not such non-cooperative. Cooperative. But I use it carefully. Each sense organ, whether it is eye, ear, nose, tongue means to eat, and skin, the touch, or mouth to speak, hands work or to give and take, feet to walk, all sense organs have their functions. They function. The function of the eye is to see, the function of ear is to hear. I have little problem in hearing. Not now, since long. I have some problem. I went to the doctor. Doctor tested. He said, no problem. Doctor said, no. I did head MRI, everything. That professor was also a disciple. He did all investigations and said, do you know, at that time I was in my 40s. He said, your ears are in your 20s. So there is no problem. And I am not hearing. So in one way it is good not to hear. I heard from a person who was having hard of hearing, a disciple of Gurudev, whose son is a monk. So he told, do you know, Baba? I said, yes. Now I am not hearing. But it is so good. A retired officer, he is no more. He said, why to hear all these useless things? I'm really happy. But what happens to us if we think that we are having problem in hearing, we want to go to doctor and then hearing aid and so on. Every sense organ has its function. It is useful. And when function becomes action, now note it clearly. When the function becomes action is a problem. Eyes to see. But what I will see? Mouth to speak. What to speak, whom to speak, when to speak. Function of the mouth is to speak, to sing. But when function becomes action, the function becomes action because of the mind. Am I clear? The eyes are open, but the mind is not here. Mind is somewhere. Eyes open, somebody has gone in your front, you don't know. Because of unmindfulness while driving, we create disaster. Absent-mindedness, unmindfulness, while mind is not there. Eyes open. We know the chaos. Sitting here for example, in the class, if mind is somewhere for a moment, we link the talk, we link the thought, because mind is absent. That is why sometimes in joke, people say, physically present, mentally absent. Physically present, mentally absent. So mind is the, troublemaker. The soul is present, whether it is, the soul is like the light post. Light in the light post, the soul. One is reading, one is, selling some stuff. One is talking to the friend, same light. So the soul is present, soul is neutral, soul has nothing to, but the troublemaker is the mind. So mind creates need, mind creates greed, and mind is the cause of all deed. Am I clear? How is your mind? Swamiji, what to do? So much of problem I have. Do you know my problem? Do the people come with their problem? Nothing wrong. Talk. But they think, who has the highest problem? God. Who gets the highest number of blames? God. People blame God. Why it is too hot? Oh God. Why it is too cold? Oh God. God is blamed for everything. Somebody wrote me a question in a question and answer class. Why did God allow human beings to be like this? He did not allow. He gave freedom. Be free. Use your freedom to be free. And do you know one thing I'll tell you, although it is a little bit out of context. To be free, be in the prison. Do you know what does it mean? To be really free, create a prison and be within it. Meaning self-discipline. If it is not self-discipline, Guru created discipline. Stay there. Saint Clare stayed inside the monastery in her room months, years. Oh God, how could she? how could she keep her mind so much focused on God? It's prison. But that prison gives freedom, liberation, ultimate realization, discipline. Come back. Again, to understand, each sense organ has its own function. I am a conscious human being. I understand their functions. As a conscious human being, I will use them. I will not misuse them. I will use them. I will not abuse them. And for what? For my good, for good of others. For my good and good of others. Somebody asked, what is the meaning of ahimsa? Not to hurt. Ah means no. It is a negation. Himsa means injury, hurting, killing. Not to hurt, not to injure, not to. So this is simple meaning. The master said, the meaning of ahimsa is love. If there is love, one cannot hurt. If by mistake one hurts, immediately realizes, because we are in the path. We are not finally. So when there is mistake, immediately, I did a mistake. Near whom I did mistake, immediately to tell, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I did this. It was immediately. And praying to God, oh God, forgive me. That is how we have to live. That is why on the path of yoga, since Patanjali said, 8 limbs of yoga, the first 2 limbs, yama and niyama, it is for how I will live. Yama and niyama, first is yama. I told them, yama is death. Lord of death, yama. And yama is sheer discipline. One who doesn't follow discipline is dying every moment, miserable life. One who doesn't follow discipline, doesn't follow yama. Says Patanjali said only 5 yamas. And these 5 yamas, it is very interesting. He said, why these yamas needed? He didn't say yama first. He said yama. Because I live with others. When I live with others, how should I live? He said 5 yama. Yama is consisting of 5. We are human beings. Animals talk. The dog barks. But how much? If you observe, very little. They are not talking too much. And we, the human beings, we are talking to God gave the human mind. And the yogis developed the mind to talk. If it is needed to talk with somebody, they talked. I left everything, going to the Himalayas. I was in my early 20s. My education was finished. Go to the Himalayas, stay there. Even Gurudev taught me Kriya. I thought Kriya is this much. I'll meditate there, forget everything. Do you know what Gurudev did? He knew. I didn't say, I'm going to the Himalayas and I'm not coming back. He said, why you are not coming back? So he did his own play and he brought me back. So, no telephone, but he did. The purpose of telling this, the yogis use their mind in a very disciplined way. Mind is very powerful. As I told you, sense organs are very powerful. Lahiri Mahasaya went to London and saw the condition of his superior or the supervisor's wife, came back with which aeroplane? At that time, there was no aeroplane. And it is true. He went. Contemporary of Sri Lahiri Mahasaya, a naked monk in Kashi. I think there is description of him in autobiography of Yogi also a little. When Paramahansa went to India, he met his female disciple, lady disciple, whose picture is also there. He was completely naked. And he was a very interesting monk. Don't know what he would do. Suppose he's sitting, he used to speak very little or nothing. And in the life of Sri Lahiri Mahasaya, you might have read about him when he was sitting with his followers sitting around him. Lahiri Mahasaya was walking. He was Bengali man. Bengali clothes style is different from North Indian. And Trailinga Swami got up and hugged him. All were shocked. He householder, he's a completely renunciate monk and with high yogic attainment. Trailinga Swami, he was not talking most of the time. If he wants to go, do you know what he will do? He will jump into the Ganga. He will jump into the Ganga and you will see that he's drowned. He will be underwater and miles away he will come up and sitting there. He wanted to avoid the crowd and all this. And people are sitting and waiting. He is miles away. Do you know what happened to him? He was, always in his birthday suit, big body. One British official, the administrator, was really displeased with this uncivilized, our language of civilization. Uncivilized, uncultured Indian, and so on. And ordered arrest him. They arrested him. He went. They put it in the prison, locked the door. So in the morning, the prisoner, the prison official, whatever, he came and he found he's sitting outside. It is locked from outside. But he's sitting outside under sun and how could you come out? He said, yes, because I got the call of nature. And I did, pee-pee. Inside the room, and there was no way to come out, and there was no toilet. So it was all water. So I came out. And he went and he saw that it's locked. He was locked inside, he's standing outside, and do you know how much pee-pee? There was flood of water in the room. Buckets and buckets and buckets of water. That was Trailinga Swami. What I'm telling, what happened, the yogic power, we used machine power. We forgot the use of mind, our spiritual power, just running up to this machine and wasting our time and mind and everything. It is unfortunate. And how much is really useful, use it. I'm not against machine. I'm not against technology. I'm not against science. It's useful. But how much? How much to be used? However, come back to our life. When says Patanjali said, Yama is of 5. Truthfulness, not to hurt, not to steal, not to covet, not to accept, and ahimsa satya asteya continence, brahmacharya, celibacy. This 5, he said, because I have to live with others. If I'm alone, there is nothing wrong. If I'm alone in my room, I'm not to talk. Thakur Ramakrishna said, I prayed to the Divine Mother that my tongue is tired by talking to the worldly people and listening to worldly problems and this. Can you not send some people with whom I can talk about God, love, devotion, divinity? Towards his last years, few young men came, and he was so happy. At least you came. The same thing was happening with Sri Gurudev. Whenever we came to him, he was so happy to talk a little, talk of God, talk of. We never had ordinary talk at all. I didn't talk. Whenever he talked, the thing is, this 5, how to live with others. Should I be, do I need it or should I be greedy? How I will be living with others? Because remember, my need, I need clothes. How much clothes do I need? Very simple thing. By buying more and more, I need, oh, it looks good, it will be nice, it will be good, it will be nice. What does it mean? The meaning is, I bring more than what I really need. I spend more. To take care of this, I spend more time. And so on. Only for clothes also. Somebody asked me, one little boy, he asked me, why do you use these colored clothes? I said, you want to know? He was very cute and very intelligent. That boy, do you know what he did? He came with his grandparents. And grandparents were coming for initiation. He said, I want to be initiated. He's a little boy of 5. And the grandparents said, you cannot be, you are too small. And he was so upset and came and complained, can I not be initiated? I said, sure, sit down. Little child. So I gave him a mantra. So, but he was observing what I was doing with others. Do you know what he did? After initiation, came to me and complained. You tricked me. I said, why? I gave you mantra, I initiated you. No, you did much more to others, not to me. Because he was observing. So then I told, it is your half initiation. When you'll grow, you'll be fully initiated. Do you know what he did? He remembered during those days lots of chantings, lots of hymns, and very correct. And so I called, one program was going on, I called him, you come here and chant. You are chanting. I told him, give your introduction. He said, my name is this much. He told, my name is this. And I am half initiated. And tomorrow I am going to be fully initiated. He declared himself. And next day he went 60 miles with his parents to be initiated. So that boy once asked me, why you are using these clothes? I said, you want to know? He said, yes. I said, have you seen policemen? He said, yes. What do they have? They have uniform? I said, this is my uniform. This is your uniform? I said, yes, monk's uniform. Recently somebody asked, why the monks have, you are putting on this color? Somebody asked, looking at the color. So having, do you know, one color, it is very easy to have few, not to have more. If you have many texture, then this is this is that, this is, if it is very simple. If we minimize our needs, life becomes much easier. If we increase our greed, what happens? My greed affects others. You'll say, how? My greed affecting others. Do you know? You think of the whole world. In the whole world, there are some people who do not have food. Take a plate full of food, they eat a part of it, throw it. Wasting anything or hoarding anything more than what we need is a crime. Yesterday I asked somebody, what is the difference between crime and sin? What is the difference between crime and sin? Crime is related to a land and the law, man-made law. One who goes against the law is crime. It's man-made. In God-made law, anybody who does against God's will or God's, that is sin. God has given this earth. God has given plenty of food. If we think of total food production we have, it is much more than the total population. Much more. But some places we waste. I will tell you one incident. It was in Miami. Hurricane. When the hurricane came, people buy. They buy a lot of stuff. And you cannot use so much. You buy out of greed, out of fear. If there will be this, if there will be this, you buy, but you can't consume it. Then supermarket is empty. And then wastage, deed. What is deed? The dictionary meaning of deed is intentional and conscious action is deed. Intentional and conscious action is deed. We the human beings, be very careful. We the human beings, whatever we do, we have to reap our own deed. We have to reap the harvest because we have sown the seed. We have sown the seed. As you sow, so shall you reap. Day and night we are sowing. In our thought, if I am thinking bad of anybody, I'm sowing seed. I'm speaking bad of anybody, I'm sowing seed. That person may not be there against whom I am speaking. But God is omnipresent. God knows. God doesn't, sometimes people say, God is punishing. God never punishes. Our karma brings, our deed. Our deed can be good deed, our deed can be misdeed. So our own karma rewards, our own karma punishes. So what is deed? Deed is conscious and intentional action. Is deed. I did a mistake. You'll ask, you did mistake? We do mistake. We are human beings. We do. I was young. I was sitting in the bus. The bus was going. It was in Cuttack. So I was to go to Bhubaneswar. From Cuttack to Bhubaneswar, during those days, the bus route in Cuttack, it passes in front of a cinema house. And that cinema house was very famous for English movie. And English movie little bit in this, less clothes, less this, and big, So the bus, when the bus goes, and people look like this. Do you know what mistake I did? My mistake was who are looking, I was judging. My mistake. I was looking at people who are looking at this. I was not looking to those pictures. I was looking at people. And those people are mostly adults. Have you not seen your own naked body? Why were looking there? Did. That person saw that is mistake. To see somebody's mistake and judging the person is my mistake. Did. How is your deed? Do you know? People outside they're shouting, screaming. All right. In ashram, in temple, in holy place, to shout and scream, it's you can't imagine. It's more in market that buy and sell. Market is all right, but not here. So if suppose you go to the temple and the priest is shouting, you come to the ashram in the ashram, be careful. Because here in ashram, for example, if you do a little good thing, it will give more good result. If you do little bad thing, it will give more bad result. Be careful. Because it is different place. Harvest, fertile land. You stay at your own home, mind will be going here and there. Come to the temple, come to the ashram, mind will be more peaceful. If you do good thing, you will get good harvest. If you do bad thing, you will get good bad harvest. Be careful. A person did not know the law, did some mistake. And when he confesses, I didn't know that it is wrong, can be forgiven. But if one knows it is wrong and does it, then I met a journalist. He was a prominent journalist in India. He came to UK and he did something, I'm telling it was in early 50s. So he did some mistake, some traffic rule, he did some mistake. He was taken to the court. And in the court, he saw it was a lady, the judge. And the judge asked, you did this? He said, yes. Why did you do this? He said, I didn't know this. I did mistake. So he said, okay, you are forgiven, but don't repeat it. Then the judge went from her position and he saw that looking like the same judge typing. So he came out. He did the same mistake again. Next day he was taken to the same court, the same judge. The same judge asked, are you not the same person whom I pardoned yesterday? He said, yes. Then you are repeating the same mistake again. He said, yes, I intentionally did it. He said, why? Because I got confused yesterday that, did you type? The typist became judge or the judge became the typist? I was confused. I want to verify. That's why I did this, to come to you. She laughed. So, committing mistake, once, forgiven. Twice, forgiven. Do you know, I was studying Sanskrit with and the classical teachers are a little bit. So, same mistake, he saw my mistake. He said, repeat this word 50 times. I wrote 50 times correctly. After this, then he gave translation into Sanskrit. And using the same word he has given, I forgot. And I did the mistake. Can you imagine what he did? He took my head like this and gave such a big blow. During those days, it was allowed. Nowadays, no. Nowadays in India, there is toll-free number. If there is any form of anything, you can just directly call the police. Even if you come to Balasram, you'll find there is toll-free number. It is written. So, however, thing is, he gives, because you are repeating the same mistake after 50 times writing correctly, again you are doing mistake. Punishment. So, did. However, let us close our eyes for a moment with deep love. Let us think of God and Sri Gurudev, and let us pray to God and Gurudev, O God, O Gurus, by your grace, I am a human being. I am on the spiritual path. You are my guide. Teach me to understand life and to lead a disciplined life and to be free from greed and to be conscious of my every deed. Bless me to use my every sense organs for the benefit of others, not for indulgence, and help me to be a good instrument of bringing peace, love, and harmony wherever I go. I bow to you again and again. Let us chant Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina together. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pasyantu, Ma Kaschit Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. O God, bless the entire creation. Let there be peace and joy everywhere. Let there be no suffering anywhere. Let all be noble. Let all be happy. I bow to God. I bow to all the divine incarnations. I bow to all the masters of all times and all places. I bow to my beloved Gurudev. I bow to all of you and the entire creation. Om. Amen.